All right, guys, we are back. It's myself, my co-host and producer, Matt Kelly, and our good friends, Matt Milligan and Tony Hartman. The Draft Boys are back to do, what is it now? 40 years ago. 40 years ago, we're going to do a draft of albums from 1985. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but once you get pre-90s, there are exceptions to this. But a lot of times I'm drafting albums based on the like 3 or 4 songs I know more than, you know, the entire album. Where if it's 90s, I probably know even the deep cuts and stuff. Are you guys on the same page as me with this?
Yeah, there's like 3 albums from this year where I am like I know that album, I know every track on it, I love it, I know that it's one I want. And then the rest are like, yeah, there's some good singles that are on this particular release by this artist. So yeah. I always feel like the 80s ones go a little bit quicker because, you know, I think we all have those 2 or 3 albums that we've grown up loving, and then the rest were kind of just like, all right, if I don't get this song with like these 2 radio singles I like, it's not the end of the world. Like I can move on to something else on my list.
Yeah, I think for me, well, just for this year in particular, like there's plenty of 80s records that I really love and know very, very well. This particular year was interesting because as I was going through the list, I was seeing a lot of artists that I love and then seeing the album they put out this year, and I was like, well, that one's not my favorite.
Yeah.
I was having a lot of that experience. I was like, ooh, great act. That's not my favorite record from them. That's not the one I would go to. So I'm probably going to have some... I mean, I have a nice little like selection here of top picks that I'm my first choice draft decisions. But yeah, this was an interesting one. I mean, right out the gate, maybe not the best year of all time for music, but probably not the worst either.
Especially coming off of 84, where I think that there were some big albums we all wanted in 84.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get one thing out of the way real quick. I think we all agree that there is one best song, a clear winner of the best song written about this year.
Yes, unfortunately we cannot nominate the song 1985.
I am very surprised that when Matt and I are doing episodes and we're looking at the top of the charts, when you get to like the mid-80s, we're always like, oh my god, look at this top 5 songs. But 1985, there's no Madonna album, there's no Michael Jackson album, there's no Bruce Springsteen album. There's like all these giant artists that don't have a release this year. It's really surprising.
I think it's because 1984 was so stacked that 1985 they were releasing more. Like if you look at the singles list, like if you go on the Wikipedia for music from 1985, there is a lot of huge songs that in parentheses like will say like record like on the album from 1984, single not released till 1985. Like I think there was a lot of, especially like the ones you said, Michael Jackson, Bruce Springsteen, Madonna. I think they were all kind of riding on the album from the previous years still. But regardless, how are we
I guess if you release an album that has
starts?
I guess if you have an album that has 7 singles on it or something, you're spreading that out over a year and a half or 2 years.
Exactly.
Okay. So everyone knows the rules here. We're going to do 5 rounds of drafting albums. We all have a theoretical $100 that we're starting with. In the first round, you have to throw out an album starting at least $20. In the second round, you got to start at least $10. The third round, you got to start at $5, and then the last 2 rounds, you can start at $1. And you know, I don't really think order matters that much because we all get a chance to bid on something. It's not like you're just picking something. So I think we'll start with the order I'm seeing people, which would be starting with Matt Kelly, going to Matt Milligan, then myself, and then we'll end each round with our good friend Tony Hartman. Does that sound good, guys?
That sounds great. Okay. And I just want to confirm one point because this comes up, and I noticed a lot of these actually in 1985. Compilations are not allowed, but soundtracks are.
Yes.
And live albums are.
Yes. No greatest hits.
No greatest hits. Yeah, exactly. Right. For some reason, again, a year as I was looking through, I'm like, wow, a lot of compilations, a lot of greatest hits records, 1985. Be curious to know why that was the case. I don't know. I kept noticing them. Like I was like, oh, another great band. Nope, greatest hits doesn't count.
Right.
Real quick, Chris, for me. So it starts with me, ends with Tony. Is it me, Chris Milligan, or me, Milligan, Chris?
It is you, Milligan, me, Tony.
Okay. I always just try to have everything organized here. Okay. All right. There's one obvious huge album here that I think we're all... Let's start with the one that I think all four of us would passionately bid for. When we talk about an album that is single heavy, this has arguably all of the hits by this group. So for $20, I'm going to start with Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair.
Oh, yeah.
You get Shout, you get Everybody Wants to Rule the World, you get Head Over Heels. There's a lot of good stuff on this record.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't really expect that to be the first one that was thrown out.
did.
I'll go 35.
35?
I'm not even messing around here.
I'll go 36.
Wow. Okay.
I'll go 40.
I'll say this before I chime in with some money here. I was honored last week at the Motion Picture Academy Museum to meet the Donnie Darko Bunny to see the actual.
Congratulations.
So because that's so fresh on my mind and so relevant, obviously, like most of the songs I think in that movie are from this album.
Yes.
$45.
There you go.
I'll go 50. I'll go 50 on this. Those hits. I can't deny those hits.
No, they're hard to deny. It's I'll go 51.
Wow. Okay.
It really is. This is a great example of a studio album that almost, like, you look at the track listing, is like that could just play like a greatest hits record. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Sowing the Seeds of Love not being on
Exactly.
this album, it would be a greatest hits. Or
Exactly.
if you count Mad World, which wasn't really a US hit for them.
True.
Is not on this album either. I'll go 54.
54. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not going to go higher than that, but like, can we talk about the album title real quick? Is this called Songs from the Big Chair?
Yep.
Do you think maybe they didn't have a title and then they're Chris Milligan, you guys definitely know where I'm going with this. They're sitting in the studio and it's like, well, check out that chair. Like, producers sit in a very big chair notoriously, especially in the 80s, I'm sure. I think that's where they got this. I don't know if there's lore out there to confirm.
I never
But that's
looked
my
into
guess.
it.
well, I'll tell you, it's actually funny you mentioned that because I have the Wikipedia open right now, and there is a story, and unfortunately, it's not. Your story is better, Tony.
No,
But
there's
the
no
actual
way.
story is the album was to be titled The Working Hour. But Roland Orzabal, the frontman of the band, thought to change it to Songs from the Big Chair, a title derived from the 1976 American television film Sybil, about a woman with multiple personality disorder who only feels safe when sitting in her analyst's big chair.
Oh, wow.
Well, I think Sybil was a sitcom in the late 90s, early, but otherwise that story probably checks out.
Yeah.
That's this album was actually the inspiration then for the show Sybil.
Whoa, okay.
I know,
There's
right?
layers to this. Good.
There's layers.
All right, well,
Is
where we
anyone
last
going
left
higher
off,
than
Chris
54?
has $54.
I have to tap out on Sybil at this point.
I'm also tapped out.
And Tony, are you tapped out?
I'm tapped out.
I'll take it. 54. I feel like
54.
that's a good deal.
I
No,
think it
that's
is
for
a good
sure.
deal, and it's an excellent starting point because, that is easily one of the biggest records of the year, holding one of the biggest singles of the year by far.
And I got a
Yeah.
couple of the greatest songs of the 80s on this
Absolutely.
You
album.
really do. Everybody Wants to Rule the World and Head Over Heels specifically
Yeah.
are just so good.
Yeah,
And
shout-
Chris, or
Shout
Milligan,
on
it's
whatever on.
Yeah. Milligan, you get to throw one out now.
Okay, well then I'll do the other album that everyone's talking about from 1985, the other album that changed the game for everybody. We all know where I'm going with this, so I'm just going to say it. We're talking about the one and only Weird Al Yankovic,
Oh, wow.
Dare to Be Stupid.
So
By
I
Weird Al
have to
Yankovic.
say, I felt so close to the victory that I wanted when Milligan was in the lead for Tears for Fears. I was like, yes, deplete him under $50 so I can just immediately snag this one when he can't outbid me. And how much did you start this on?
Oh, let's start it at $30.
All right, well, I'm going to bump that bad boy right up to 40.
Straight up to
on.
40.
Wow. This has 1 more minute on it, correct?
Yep, one more
this
minute.
has 1 more minute, Like a Surgeon.
Ooh.
The
This
title
has-
track, Dare to
Yep,
Be Stupid.
Dare to Be Stupid, of course. The only real, like, true hit with an original song Al ever had.
Yeah.
It has Yoda on it. It has.
The
I don't
George of the
care about
Jungle
the song
cover.
Yoda.
You
This
don't care
is
about the song
like-
Yoda? Yoda is funny in that it's a divisive one, where it is either like people's be-all, end-all of Al, or they don't understand.
But it's been
Yeah,
his
I-
closers since the day he started playing music, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think we said on Weird Algorithm, right? I think it's the most played song on his Setlist FM
By a
of his
long
entire career.
shot. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so I will go to $45.
I'll go to 50.
Wow, I'm out. I'm priced out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. We you two. You didn't really stand a chance on this one, I guess. Really, it's all good. You 50. Okay, so 50, 54.
56.
Wow.
So it already has more respect than Tears for Fears. Let's say 60.
Oh my God.
62.
Is this going to be the highest bid album ever on a draft?
We did this on a previous one. I don't know what the record actually is right now for the most spent on a single album, but I think it's something in the 60s.
I'm
Yeah.
fixing to beat that record. Don't you worry.
65.
67.
Oh my God. Tony, you're muted.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm sitting this out. I can't
Okay.
come between these guys.
I just wanted to make sure you knew.
68.
I'll say the funny number, 69.
Yes.
Well, in the spirit of comedy, I think I'm going to let you have it for 69.
Wow.
Al wouldn't appreciate that kind of blue humor.
What
No,
are you
he-
talking about?
he
There's
keeps
a
it clean.
masturbation joke in
There
one
is a
more
masturbation joke on that record,
Yeah.
but not a 69ing joke.
I got to use the self-service pumps.
Exactly. Chris
Yeah.
knows.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
minute. Yeah, at the
At
gas, station of love. You got to use the self-service pump.
Yep.
All right,
Ugh.
Chris.
All right. Wow. I wasn't expecting all that. I got to throw out a $20 one now. I'm going to go. Ooh. Man, this is a good one. I'm. Man, I want this one. Okay. I'll do Phil Collins, No Jacket Required. I'll start it at 20.
Great choice.
That's a really good choice.
I'll go 25 on that one.
I'd go 27 for the name alone. We need to keep naming albums, stuff like
Man.
that. It's classic.
This is a really good album. For anyone listening who doesn't know, this is Susudio, One More Night, Don't Lose My Number, Who Said I Would, and Take Me Home are all on this album.
Yeah, this is a stacked record.
Yeah,
I'll go
great
30.
record.
30.
I'm not going to fight you on it.
Wow.
I'll go
Anyone?
30.
I can't bid on it.
I'll go 32.
Do I really want to be in this position already? Man, there's some good ones out there. Jeez. Man, I want it, but God damn it. All right, I hate that I'm doing this, but I'll bow out.
There you go.
I
I
think
just
you-
got it for 32.
I think you got that for. I think that's a
32.
steal of the draft
this
right
is-
I think
there.
it is. I think it's I'm glad that Phil Collins, I think, is just in recent years starting to actually get his proper credit and due for these albums. I think he was just such a punchline for a long time, really unfairly. And these records
Yeah.
are great. His solo records are great.
It's really good.
All right, Tony,
All right, Tony.
you get the last $20 one to throw out.
All right, maybe this will feel early, but like you guys have taken a few that I had heavily weighted here. I'm gonna throw out those Rock and Roll Rascals, The Replacements, with Tim for $20.
Damn it.
Really good record.
God damn it. I wish that this came a little bit later because I cannot.
25.
Yeah, I can't even justify paying for it right now financially. This has arguably my favorite song by The Replacements, which is Bastards of Young. That song is so fucking good.
I go 30.
Wow. Okay.
I'll go 32, which is what I just paid for No Jacket Required. It's at least as good as that. Yeah, no, this is a great record.
I will go. You did 32.
I did.
I'm gonna go to 35, and note that like in a year of really zany album titles, seems like so far they just went with Tim.
What do people that like The Replacements a lot call The Replacements? Don't they have like a band nickname?
Oh,
You
that's
guys not know
interesting.
this because I posted
No.
one. I post these things like you have to choose one. I post them on the Krista Makes a Podcast Facebook group and Instagram. And I put one where it had this album on it. I did pick an album from 1985,
Yeah.
and people kept saying this thing, and I was like, "What is
Oh
that?"
damn!
I just had to look it up, and I now remember this. They get called the Mats because
Yeah, why?
like it's a short for Minnesota. It's like a shorthand for they're from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and that's like a local shorthand for that area. The Mats, MATS.
Okay.
I have
Also,
heard that before.
One of the bands infamously rumored to have been banned from SNL.
They played
Being
pretty
far
drunk,
too-
right?
Oh no!
Yeah,
wait! I'm sorry. I had that wrong. The Mats came from someone who referred to them as the placemats instead of the replacements as the
Oh.
placemats, like as a joking name, and then they held on to it and turned themselves into the Mats.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Well, speaking of the Mats, one of us is not
Hey,
bidding on this
great
album
segue.
anymore. Tony, you got it at 35. Milligan, you're
That's
really the
right.
only one that can financially still go after it if you want.
Yeah, let's give it the old classic 37.
Wow.
I'll go 40. I can build around this nicely.
That's all I wanted was for you to have this, Tony. It's yours.
If that were the case,
It's
Is
his.
that your way of
if
bowing
that were
out?
the
Okay.
case, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm bowing out.
$40. Tim.
That's a spectacular record, truly.
It's really, really good.
Okay. $10 round, Matt Kelly. Where are you going?
I'm looking at two records here. I think I can get away with a little bit later on one of them. Let's start an interesting bidding war between the two people with the least amount of money. For $10, I'm going to throw out The Cure, The Head on the Door.
I'll go 20.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go 22.
Whew.
I'll go 25. This has got two. It's got two really good songs.
It
I'd
does.
say 3 really.
Arguably
good songs.
more. Yeah.
I'll go 26 on this one.
27.
Wow.
30.
30. I sometimes think this is my favorite Cure album.
I think for
I
a
think
minute
this
it might
is
have been my
definitely
favorite
mine.
Cure record. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone through phases with this band, but this is a really good one.
As bass players, I mean,
Oh man.
yeah.
Yeah. So great.
I'll go 31.
I think I have to. There you go. I think I'm tapped out at this point. But
Yeah, I physically can't bid anymore.
I can find something more goth. I'm tapping out too.
Okay, and Matt Kelly's out?
Yeah, I mean, you're at 31.
Oh.
That's how much money I have left.
Nice. Tears for
But now you're
Fears
down
and
to
The Cure?
15, so you
Yeah.
might be dealing with scraps for a little bit past
there
this
are a lot
point.
of goth options in 1985. If that's what you're in the market for, there's definitely some good goth
Oh
options.
man, do I have a good basis for man.
There you go.
All right, I love it. All right, Matt Milligan.
Yeah, $10. I'm gonna go with. I'm going to go with Talking Heads. Little Creatures by Talking Heads. Not my all-time favorite Talking Heads record, but it's really good. It has And She Was on it. It has Road to Nowhere on it. This is kind of late for them, but I still love it. So let's start it at 15.
Okay.
I'll go 20.
As I said, Chris can't even bid on it.
That's okay.
I'll go to. I'll bump that up to 22.
I'd go 25.
Starting to get risky for me now, but that's cool. Let's say 28.
I'm out.
All
You
right.
got it.
Is that mine? Did that just become mine?
Yeah,
It's yours.
Neither Chris nor I can even really bid on it at this point.
Yeah.
There you go.
So-
All right.
All right.
Little Creatures, $28. I will take it.
All right,
it's-
Chris.
It is to me now, and let me see some strategy here.
I will just say really quick, the Village Voice said that Little Creatures was the best album of 1985.
Ooh.
That tracks.
There you go. It does track for the Village Voice.
Yeah, for them. Yeah.
I'll go $10. Kate Bush, Hounds of Love.
I almost said that one. That was the other strong contender for me. All right, 15.
Oh, I'm out. Damn it.
I'd estimate there's this many kids on the popular Netflix show Stranger Things. So I'll go 20 for this.
So good.
25.
Man, I love this album. I may have screwed up because these other two albums I got are the ones I know singles. This album, I love the entire album.
This is a really good album, and it's funny because, again, like we were just saying, like this had this massive resurgence. Well, Running Up That Hill had this massive resurgence a couple of years back, but the whole record is insane.
The title track
Oh
is
my God.
amazing.
Oh my God.
That song Cloud Busting is amazing.
Cloud Busting, The Big Sky.
Such a good album.
This is really next level, and a little bit it'll like it just slightly scratch that goth itch if you've got
Yeah,
it. It's
sure.
there.
I believe she maybe recorded this in an old castle. I'm
seems
pretty
like
sure
it.
she did.
It screams Old Castle.
Yeah.
Man. What are we at?
25 Milligan.
Yeah, I put it at 25.
I'd go up to 28 for this.
I wish I had $29 so bad.
I will 30.
There you go.
32.
Wow, he wants it.
It's yet another standoff with me and Tony.
Yeah.
I'm starting to approach. He's starting to tap me out here.
That's right.
All right, I will concede.
Damn, Tony. That's a good pick.
Okay.
Good,
Wow.
Yeah, I got to tell me twice.
great record.
All right, Tony, you kick off this one.
Okay, for $10, and I welcome a number crunch here in case this is inaccurate. It doesn't feel like this album came out this year, but allegedly it did, and it's The Descendants, I Don't Want to Grow Up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I saw that as well.
Funny
So
enough,
you're
on Wikipedia, this is listed as coming out this year, but it says specific release date unknown.
Yeah,
Which really
that's
amuses
fine.
me.
Yeah.
It's fun to think how few people were paying attention to the Descendants in 1985.
Wow.
And
So
this
you
is,
just
I
started
know
this-
it's
yeah.
started at 10, and I know it's early, like, this is more of a legacy play, because this is clearly not, like, the best Descendants record,
Sure.
I would say.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think this is the
Okay.
best Descendants album.
Damn.
I think-
Okay.
This your favorite Descendants? Wow.
I think Good Things and Christmas Vacation, and I mean these songs are amazing.
Oh, I mean,
And it's
Silly
funny,
Girl on this record is top
Oh.
tier Descendants. I mean, like,
Silly Girl might be the
Yeah.
best Descendants song.
it's a strong contender. That is true.
And it's funny because this is pre Stephen Egerton. This is pre. This is.
I may take several seats on my comment that this isn't the best one, because like, I guess if you wait by like the songs you just called out for this, is this their first record? It's
No,
very early
it's
on.
after Milo. Milo was 82,
Okay.
and then it was this.
Right.
Yeah, according
Okay,
to
yeah,
Wikipedia, this is their second album, and it says specifically on the Wikipedia anyway, released on May 15th, 1985.
Okay, so there you go. Maybe it's just whoever made the album released Wikipedia did
I-
not
Yeah.
do enough cross research.
I thought I was going to be able to sneak this one in for $1 at the end. I'm surprised it came out
No,
right
sir.
now. I mean, I'll go 11.
I'll go 12.
I gotta go 15.
Okay, I'm out. Unfortunately, damn.
You know what? I'll continue to show some respect here. I'll go up to 18.
Wow, this is shocking to me. I thought this was a little too early in the Descendants catalog, and we weren't going to have these old school punkers.
I just saw Descendants last year. I never got to see them as a kid. I felt like they were always like, being a kid going to Warped Tour, they always did like West Coast Warped and never made it to the East. So I just never got the chance to see them. And then last year, they did a co-headline with Circle Jerks.
Yep.
And it was a real treat for me.
I went to that show in Pittsburgh.
Oh
and they
man,
were
like
awesome.
just like incredible.
Yep.
Just two incredible, like it's like the marker of everything I want to see in the world of those bands just still working and just kicking ass after all these years. It's amazing.
Yeah. So where
Chris,
are
I
we at?
remember. I might have to tap out on my own.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right, so Milligan's walking away
Let's
with
get
it
it for 18? I will take it.
All right.
That's a good. That's a steal, and at the same time, it's an album I thought someone was going to pick up for $1 or $2. So
Lord no. Chris, do you remember when we were on tour together? I got the tiniest T-shirt of this album cover and wore it for years and years. Eventually, too tiny, but I just passed it down to our niece relatively recently. So the legacy lives on of the
Nice.
tiny "I don't want to grow up" T-shirt.
I have a baseball T-shirt of this album cover, but it's kind of an awkward because it's like bright yellow and it fits. It's a little ill-fitting. So
It's
I don't.
hopefully
I don't wear
it's
it very
tiny.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it's tiny.
Mine's not tiny. Mine's a little big, but
Okay.
it just fits weird. Like it's kind of like the neck is kind of stretched out, and then it's a baseball tee, so the sleeves just come halfway up my forearm. It's just not. It's not a comfortable wear, and then I feel weird about wearing bright yellow. So
I think it's time to pass it down to a teen in your life.
maybe I will.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
$5 round, Matt.
$5
Kelly.
round, and I'm very excited. I didn't really think you would care about this album that much, Chris, but the two people who I thought would bid hard for this album now have less money than me. So it feels like the right time to drop for $5 Run DMC's King of Rock. This is a really, really good release from Run DMC.
It is. Are you? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the value. How much did you say you're doing this for?
I'm starting with 5.
God, I am really short on cash and picks at this point.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to walk off with a couple dollar CDs that only I would care about. But this is this has obviously the title track, King of Rock. It has not a huge hit for them, but one of my favorites, the song Jam Master Jay about their DJ.
Yes, that is a good one.
Now, obviously, is it as good as, say, the following album, Raising Hell? Absolutely not. I think Raising Hell and even Tougher Than Leather are both superior albums to this, but this is the first like truly great Run DMC release.
Agreed. I am still going to sit this one out. I
right.
do love this record, but I am I have big plans for my final 2 here.
Okay.
Milligan, I feel like this ends your run as the king of New York. You're always getting the NYC staples.
That is true. That is true.
I'm gonna sit this out as well.
All right. Unless Chris suddenly wants this one, I'm gonna walk away with it for $5.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well then, over to Milligan.
Okay, so we're up to $5. For $5, this is kind of an odd choice, but I forecast this ever so gracefully earlier when we started the episode about the rules, because I'm actually going to throw out a live album, and I very rarely will like love a live record, but I actually have one here that's a real favorite of mine, and it is the double live album Live After Death by Iron Maiden, which I will stand by as being, if you are interested in that band, if you are a fan, I swear that record as a live album plays perfectly. It's almost everything you need from Iron Maiden. It's all of their best songs played super well, and I love Iron Maiden, and I'm putting it down for $5.
Well, I mean, I also like Iron Maiden, but who would I be to try to bid against the guy whose biggest song is about getting 2 tickets to see Iron Maiden live?
I just want to make it clear that I did not write that line. I didn't write that lyric. I do understand the cringe factor of me picking an Iron Maiden song. I get it, guys.
I didn't even put that together. That's pretty good, though. Yeah, I'm not gonna bid more than $5 on a live Iron Maiden album. Tony?
Well, does it come with a cool T-shirt?
It probably did at some point in time. I also saw apparently at one point it even got bundled with a hilarious like Laserdisc version of like the live footage. It's been repackaged a bunch of times over the years now. But really, I mean, if you're listening to this and you're not a fan or you don't know much about Maiden, it is the album that got me into that band.
Okay, I'm not going to bid on it.
Yeah.
But I am going to give it a shot and listen to it because I've always been like about to listen to them and never pulled the trigger.
I think it's worth a listen. I think
this has a lot of hits on it. Oh my god.
Yeah, it plays. It's almost cheating because it plays like a greatest hits.
Yeah, you get 2 minutes to midnight. The Trooper.
Yeah.
Number of the Beast. Run to the Hills. Wow.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing missing is Can I Play with Magic, and it would be like all of my favorite Iron Maiden singles.
Completely separate from the bands that I play in, who has a song about Iron Maiden. They are my favorite of like that sort of like thrash metal 80s metal bands. Like they are my favorite one by far.
They're also like the most technically good.
They're great.
like
so
musically,
good, so
they're unbelievable.
Yep. There you
all
go.
Right.
Oh, so did I just get that Iron Maiden Live After Death $5?
Yeah.
Is that official?
I think you just walked off with that for $5.
Let's go.
All right, Chris, you got a $5 one to throw out.
Let me see if I can get this for $5. Stevie Wonder in Square Circle. This is the album with Part-Time Lover and Overjoyed on it.
Ooh, I do love Overjoyed. I didn't even have this on my long list. I'm not going to fight you on this one, Chris. That is a good song, though.
Yeah. Other guys?
It's all you, man.
Yeah, I think In Square Circle. Man, you know, it's funny. I didn't even realize Part-Time Lover was on this. I saw that album title on the list. I was like, I don't know that record at all. Yeah, I'm going to let you have it.
Yes.
You did the due diligence to find out what tracks were on it.
Yeah, you did it. You put the work in.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Tony, last of the $5 round, and then it can get wild.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm surprised this one hasn't come up yet. And oddly, yesterday I saw it right in front of me on vinyl. I hadn't thought about it in many, many years. And the dude I was with, my buddy Brian, that I was with, pointed and said, "That's the only CD I have in my car." Which I feel like, aside from Matt Kelly, we probably all have that, like, there's the one CD that's still in your car. Maybe Matt Kelly, you probably have like 600. You probably have like the disc changer in the trunk.
Please don't say it's another one I thought that was going to be an obvious $1 snag.
It could be. It could be, but it might just be so out of nowhere that you're like, oh, damn. No, but that's a good CD to have in the car. It's Sade Promise.
Oh.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
Okay, that's not what I thought you were going to say. What are the hits on this one?
It just sounds
No
real
Ordinary Love?
good.
This isn't No Ordinary Love, is it?
I don't think so. It's just like
No.
every song. It's such a smooth ride.
Is it a
basically.
crime? Sweetest Taboo?
Sweetest Taboo. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's this album.
I'm sure I don't know this whole album. I love Sweetest Taboo. I'm sure this would be a great one to have in a collection, but I have too many left on my list to take a chance on an album I don't really know here.
That's how I'm feeling too.
I'm bowing out on this one.
I think Tony just walked off with that one for $5.
It's a walk off.
Wonderful. I should have bought it yesterday on vinyl, but now I have it in whatever currency this actually is. Sweet.
Okay, here we go. We have 2 rounds left now. We're in the throw out whatever you want. You can start at $1 if you want, and this is where you can go bargain shopping. So where are you starting, Matt Kelly?
So I'm definitely down to the like. All right, these are kind of just like albums that only I would like, that I could get away with grabbing for $1. But I think at least 2 of the people in this chat might go back and forth with me on this, because this is not a good band. I'm going to start with that sentence. I'm about to pick a band that is not a particularly good band.
Okay.
But
Wow.
I think that this is the best release from this band.
Bad band.
I'm going to go with Motley Crue's Theater of Pain for $1.
I'm out.
Yeah, I knew you would be, Chris. It's got Home Sweet Home on it. It's got their covers Smoking in the Boys' Room. It's definitely the best record Motley Crue put out. Take that as you will.
I mean, I just talked about how Iron Maiden is my favorite band of this time period, and so that I feel obligated to sit this out. As a side note, looking through the list of 1985, it is a litany of the sort of like really cringy hair metal stuff. In retrospect, when you go down this list, like Rat and all like just the tough album titles and covers, it's just they're all over the place in 1985.
Especially because in like the grand scheme of hair metal bands, like, I mean, I guess they had Mick Mars, but like Motley Crue doesn't even have like, you know, like Poison is like not a good band, but like low key, like they've got like a really talented guitarist, and like and Bret Michaels is a pretty decent singer. Like Motley Crue just has that Mick Mars is pretty good at playing bass, and the rest.
Congratulations, Matt Kelly, I think.
Got it for $1. I was all right. Moving over to you, Milligan.
So this is one of those that is, I'm doing. This is truly a just for me. Although I'm gonna swear by this is like one of my all-time favorite records. That is a bit of a deep cut. This is the old record store employee coming out of me, but I must make my pick here. My all-time favorite album by Tom Waits, which is Rain Dogs.
Rain Dogs is really good.
This is just incredible. And as a result, I also can't even just put it at $1, so I'm going to do $5. $5 for Rain Dogs, because I can afford it. Oh, there you go. Matt Kelly's going to fight me for this. I will go 7.
All right, I'm out. I just wanted to make you fight for it a little bit more.
I just wanted to bid you up a little
Because
bit.
it is a good album. It's a really good Tom Waits release.
Yeah,
it's my favorite. Yeah.
That's the album where I know the album cover. Like,
Yes.
that's like an iconic album cover even. So,
the song Clap Hands on that record has what I think is the greatest guitar solo ever recorded in any song ever.
wow.
Mark Rebo plays guitar on that record, and it is just my favorite. I will never, ever get sick of it for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Highly
I mean,
recommended.
I'm still big on the albums before this one. Heart Attack and Vine and Swordfish Trombones are both pretty big for me, but
Also
Rain Dogs
great.
is also very, very good.
Yep.
I even like his later stuff. His last album, Bad As Me, I still think is a really good album.
I think he's just generally a genius, but this one really, like, this was a real, like, when I heard this, that was a real game changer for me. That's my 5.
I was going to say that concludes your
I will.
list.
I'm going to
Oh.
keep throwing out picks as we need to, but that's my 5 done.
Okay, so it's to me, and there are a lot of like solid 80s rock bands albums left where I'm like, damn, these are all like, I want them all equally, but gun to my head right now, for $1 I'm gonna throw out the Outfield Play Deep.
Ooh, I almost was going to put this on my list.
A band that
Need
I've
room
done
for $1?
multiple podcasts about and learned that this band is way better than just Your Love, which is on this album. So I'll do $1 on Play Deep.
I'm not going to fight you on this. You definitely are more of the Outfield fan than me. Who would I be?
And
try to bid
Matt
up.
Milligan is not dumping an album for this, I don't think.
No.
Tony, are
no,
you interested in the Outfield? All right. I got Play
right.
Deep for $1. I'll
All right,
take
so you're
it.
done then.
And it's to you, Tony.
How about we do a soundtrack, and how about we do the soundtrack, which is the
Yeah.
Goonies soundtrack
I know,
for
damn it.
$5.
Damn it. I thought I was going to get that one in the bargain bin at the
I
end.
don't think so. Nope.
I mean, listen, I love Goonies Are Good Enough.
Yeah.
What's on the rest of the soundtrack? I've never listened to the Goonies soundtrack.
Philip Bailey, REO Speedwagon, the Bangles, Luther Vandross.
Okay, it's pretty stacked.
It's just
credits.
it's the middle of the '80s. It's like
Yeah.
personified, I guess, in a soundtrack. So
Well, Chris, you've got one more slot. Are you gonna try to bump up and grab it?
No, because there's too many other things I want on this list. So
Okay.
I'm not. You got it.
I'm gonna let it go too. So.
Last round, Matt Kelly.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I guess okay. Because I'm like, I only have 3 albums. All right, I'm just gonna do an album that no one's gonna fight me for anyway. I'm gonna do I'll do an album that no one's gonna fight me for. I like this band. I think that we came down pretty hard on this band on an episode of Weird Algorithm, and actually came down pretty hard on this song, particularly for being way too long. But despite that, I think it's a really good song, and I think that's on a really good album. So I'm going to go for $1, Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms, featuring the song Money for Nothing.
It's crazy that we're only bidding $1 on this, because when I was looking up, like, what albums came out in 1985, I came across some lists, and this was, I believe on one list, this was the #1 album of the year, like on one of these lists I saw, and it was always ranked very high on lists.
It's a good album. It is a really good album. It's not my favorite Dire Straits album. I think they did an album, I want to say right before this or right after, called Making Movies, which has my favorite Dire Straits song, the Romeo and Juliet song. But I mean, the guitar riff for Money for Nothing is just such a monster guitar riff that I don't care that it goes for 9 minutes in that song, because I enjoy listening to that riff.
Okay. Is anyone going more than $1? Is Matt Milligan dropping an album and bidding on this?
Yeah,
one?
he's getting rid of Tom Waits for the Dire Straits album.
I'm not. I'm going to say, I think I said this on Weird Algorithm. I'm going to say it again. this is a band I don't get.
Yeah.
And I know people absolutely love them and just like really worship like the way this album sounds and is composed and recorded. And I remember like not that long ago, it was one of those like the 1001 albums you must hear before you die, and this album is like on it. And I briefly started trying to make my way through that list, and I was like, this is tough for me to get through. Okay. There are songs on that are like every song is like minimum 6 minutes. I was like, it's too much, man. Yeah. So no.
Okay.
All right.
You
Well,
got it.
Matt, you can
Matt
throw
Milligan,
one out.
You can throw one out for $1.
Great. I'll do that.
You don't have to take it.
That's great. I'm going to throw one out for $1 because it's fun to show some respect for. There are some more records on here that I think are really good, yeah. How about it's funny. Prince put out an album.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be saying more albums than I want to. But Prince put out an album in 1985 that is not my favorite Prince record. And actually, I think the better Prince record that came out in 1985 is this one, which is the Sheila E. album, Romance 1600, which has Love Bazaar on it. this is a spectacular record, and I love this time period for Prince where he was writing and making music for so many people that oddly there's times where like his album felt like the afterthought, and he was giving these incredible songs to incredible people. So Sheila E., Romance 1600 for $1. Spectacular.
I'm not going to outbid you on that one. Are either of you guys outbidding him on that one?
No.
So I think Milligan's just putting that back on the rack.
Yeah, you just putting that back on the rack then?
That's just in my that's my honorable. That's my $1 honorable mention.
Okay. Is it to me?
All right, Chris? Yep.
I'm gonna. Oh, there's still a bunch here there's a bunch that I definitely like a song on, but I think I'm gonna throw out for $1 Oingo Boingo, Dead Man's Party.
Ooh,
Another good
that's
one.
a good one.
I'd go $3 on that.
Yeah, let's get some bidding going.
Yeah.
I will go. I'll go. It's what I have left. I'll go $9.
I'll tap out, but I want to. I think that song is the song I hear on the radio, just like regular ass radio. I hear that song more than any song in the past few years. I don't know. Like, just if I have like a local LA station on in my car, I don't even know what station it is, but I will hear that song.
Well, now I feel like I need to move back to LA because I never hear this song on the radio ever.
It is the cost of living alone is justified by hearing Dead Man's Party more than anywhere else in the country.
Everything else is a write-off.
Yeah.
No, that song rules though, and listen. At one point, there was a series of albums that were Punk Goes albums that are all, by most accounts, pretty terrible. But Chris, I think you toured with this band. A Thorn
for Every Heart.
A Thorn for Every Heart's cover of Dead Man's Party is pretty great. Like it
is pretty good.
That's like a really good cover on like a collection of albums that have fairly mediocre covers. That is like a standout cover, and part of it's because this song is just so damn good. Like it's really hard to fumble the ball with this song.
By the way, also on this album, Weird Science and Just Another Day.
Yeah, that's a really good record.
Guys, I'm gonna start calling into like KTLA or whatever it is, like real aggressively, telling I'm like, hey, I love that you guys are always playing Dead Man's Party, but could you play the Thorn for Every Heart version? They're good dudes. I think they're like a Riverside band. So yeah, let's give them some credit for covering the song you guys play 3 times an hour.
All right, Tony. I feel like there's an obvious album that to me screams a Tony pick, but it's your last pick, and I want to see my predictions.
That almost puts pressure on me to pick something else because I don't think it's going to be this, but it is punk, and it does have a funny album title.
No, this was going to be.
I don't know if it's going to be it. I don't think it's. Is it The Addicts Smart Alex?
No, that is not it.
I don't know this record.
Yeah, I've never heard
sounds
this
like
one.
It sounds like if the Clash were like a little goofy.
All right, this is what you're going for.
I'm gonna go for it. I'm throwing it out there for $1, and it's another band that like I saw the T-shirt of so often before I ever heard a song by this band.
Okay.
Wow.
So what was the album again?
The Addicts Smart Alex.
Smart Alex. Okay.
But dude, I don't have it up in front of me. There was, I don't know if anyone's gonna bring this up, but there was a Clash album this year, and it has a funny name, and it's like
crap.
Yes.
Cut the Crap. Is this when they got like really bad? Didn't they get like
Cut the Crap is terrible.
So what you're saying is it is the crap.
There was a point where I was like just going to be a completist, and I was buying every Clash record, and then I got that one at home, and I
100% going to listen to it
it's
today.
really bad.
All right. Well, I'm the only one that still has an album left. I'll throw out $1 for what I thought Tony was going to go for, which is, of course, Dead Milkman's debut album, Big Lizard in My Backyard.
No, that was going to be the one I grabbed out of the discount bin.
Great choice. Great choice.
I mean, that is a really good album title.
Yes.
It's such a good album.
Even as you were describing the album you were going to pick, I'm like, yep,
Mm-hmm.
this all seems to point to Dead Milkman.
Bitch and Camaro, Tiny Town, Dean's Dream,
Yep.
Filet of Soul. Filet of Soul, baby.
A few song titles we can't say out loud.
Yeah. There's some things that don't age very well in this album, but I definitely skateboarded on the basketball court by my house to this album, and definitely have some fond memories of it. So good pickup there, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Speaking
well
of
done.
pickups, I feel like you're about to say that we get to stop by the discount rack real quick.
Yeah, we can go around and grab something out of the bin. They're just giving these CDs away. The store's closing down. They're not even selling them. They're giving them away. So, Matt Kelly, what are you grabbing out of the bin?
I'm going to grab an album with a song that I love, and everybody knows that I love it. The Waterboys, This Is the Sea.
Wow. Got that for nothing.
Very good.
Matt Milligan?
Yeah, another punk band. Because I'm a little lacking. Well, I got the Descendants, and that's why I didn't go further with that. But a great band that put out 2 records in 1985. I was surprised to see, but I'm gonna go with "Flip Your Wig" by Husker Du.
Okay.
New Day Rising also came out in 1985. Also a really good record, but "Flip Your Wig" is my favorite of the 2.
I'm deciding between 3 albums, all of which I want for one song. And I guess I'm going to go based on how sick the bass player is. That's how I'm going to judge this.
Great
I'm
way to
going
do
to
it.
take Level 42's World Machine that has something about you on it. Matt Milligan
Chris.
has his fists in the air.
Fist in the Air for Level 42. Amazing bass player band.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
Respect.
So good. And Tony, what are you grabbing?
I'll go with a friend of the family, Cleveland legend, name's Dave Thomas, not to be confused with obviously the King of Wendy's, but he fronted a band called Per Ubu out of Cleveland. Very influential, and their album that came out this year is called The Terminal Tower, or just Terminal Tower, which is just like the most known building in Cleveland. So I don't know if that's like another like really lazy like what should we call the album, or if they're just like, dude, it's a sweet tower. It needs to go down in infamy. So, yeah, Perubu, Terminal Tower.
Great pick, Tony.
Hold on a
Dave
second.
Thomas.
I don't want to be a jerk here. Technically, Terminal Tower is a compilation album. Are we allowing it for the grab and go?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy just passed away.
I was going to say Dave Thomas
okay.
just
Yeah.
died, so that's
Okay,
a great
fine.
tribute.
We'll let it
Peru
go.
Ubu, Dave Thomas, really good. Yeah, agreed.
All right. Albums that went undrafted.
Yeah, there's a
I
couple
only
big
had one.
ones here.
I only had
I have
one. It was
I have a couple. Well, go ahead, Matt Kelly.
the one that I had was Robert Palmer's Riptide that featured "Addicted to Love" on it and a few other decent songs.
That wasn't what was on my list. The two others that I was deciding between was Aha's "Hunting High and Low," which
Yep.
is the album with "Take on Me" on it,
Yep.
and the Hooters' "Nervous Night," which is the album with "And We Danced" and
That's
"All
right.
You Zombies" on it.
Nice.
Those are both cool too.
Yeah. Other ones on my list that didn't get picked. A big favorite of a lot of people, although maybe less so nowadays. "Meat is Murder" by the Smiths.
Yeah.
Not my favorite Smiths record, but a lot of people it is. "Fables of the Reconstruction" by R.E.M. With Driver 8 on it.
yeah.
That's a solid record. Tom Petty's "Southern Accents." "Don't Come Around Here No More."
Oh.
That was
song.
85. That's it for like the really notable ones. Dead Kennedys' "Frankenchrist" came out that year. The first Dinosaur Jr. record came out that year. Till Tuesday, "Voices Carry" came out in 85.
Yeah.
Another great 80s track.
Was Whitney Houston's debut album?
Whitney Houston's debut, thank you. That's also right here on this list, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah,
I noticed that it's a really male-heavy. I don't know if you guys
a
noticed
lot
this.
of
It's
dudes.
like Kate Bush. Other than Kate Bush, did we even draft any female artists?
Sade.
Oh, Sade.
Sade, yeah.
Sade,
Yeah.
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 Oh, and another one that we didn't talk about was Psycho Candy by Jesus and Mary Chain. Another
Yeah.
like beloved gothy rock record.
Yeah, I went back and I listened to Just Like Honey yesterday, and I was like, this isn't my favorite Jesus and Mary Chain.
Very fair.
Yeah. So, yeah, pretty good draft. I don't know, Matt Kelly, were you taking notes? Do you want to do the rundown before we close this down?
Sure do. All right, so I went first on the draft order. I got Weird Al, "Dare to Be Stupid," Run DMC, "King of Rock," Motley Crue, "Theater of Pain," Dire Straits, "Brothers in Arms," Dead Milkmen, "Big Lizard in My Backyard," and then on the way out, I also grabbed the Waterboys, "This Is the Sea." Milligan, you went second. You grabbed Phil Collins, No Jacket Required. Talking Heads, Little Creatures, Descendants, I Don't Want to Grow Up. Iron Maidens, Live After Death. Tom Waits, Rain Dogs, and on the way out the door, you grabbed Husker Du's Flip Your Wig. Chris, you grabbed Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair. The Cure, The Head on the Door. Stevie Wonder, In Square Circle. The Outfield, Play Deep. Oingo Boingo, Dead Man's Party. And on the way out the door, you grabbed Level 42, World Machine. And then lastly, Tony, you grabbed The Replacements, Tim, Kate Bush, Hounds of Love, Sade, Promise, The Goonies soundtrack, The Addicts, Smart Alex, and how do you pronounce this one on the grab and go? Pure Ubu?
Pere Ubu.
Pere Ubu? Ubu? With
enough.
the Terminal Tower.
Nice. Well, guys, it's been really fun drafting with you guys once again. We'll see what the people think, and I'm sure Matt will let us know all the stats in
On
a
Patreon,
future
yeah.
Patreon episode to know who sold the most albums and whose list is most critically acclaimed. As usual, I love drafting with you boys.
Oh, I love drafting with you guys. This is always such a treat. Can we call ourselves the Draft Kings? Is that name taken?
Oh,
I don't think it's available. I think
great.
it's available. Let's take it.
Let's grab that domain right now.